everybody? Welcome back to Page Rage Built. So we're going to continue on working on that B16 Del Sol. We got the motor out in the last video. We looked it over. So this video, this is going to be the teardown of the engine, the transmission, the engine harness, and we're going to get that all ripped apart. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and we'll set you up. We're going to rip off the engine harness, the starter. We're going to take off the T-bracket. We're going to go ahead and take off the transmission, actually from the motor. Get that all taken apart, and then we'll start pulling the head apart and seeing how it looks.
See the light. See the light. I wanna see the light. See the light. I wanna see the light.
Again, wrong bolt. This is not an OEM Honda bolt. This is just some random, I don't know, some random grade 8 bolt and a nut. Looks like it might be a 13, so we'll find out. Again, not correct. Again, they used the wrong bolt for the bottom of the alternator too. There's a special bolt that has a locking square on the back and then just a 14mm nut. So, I don't know who did the swap. This is a b16a2. The car originally came with a b16a3 and it blew up. I'm not sure who did the swap, but whoever did this sure seemed to like cut corners on just bolts and shit. So, I don't know. Kind of one of my pet peeves about working on this shit. I just can't stand it. All right, so the next thing we're gonna take off is the starter, and then we got the bell housing bolts. Take the tranny off, which we got one down here, here. This 14 millimeter on the bottom is also a bell housing bolt, and then there's a set glass bell housing bolt on the back side here by the tranny. Take off those bolts, and we'll slide the tranny right off. Again, another wrong bolt. I don't know where the hell this came from, but this isn't the factory Honda 14 millimeter bolt for the starter, so just more messed up stuff. All right, so that bottom bolt's it's just missing, so whatever. I have an extra that we can use for them, but just more problems. All right, so whoever had this might have put a newer clutch in it. I'm sure you guys can't see, but you see that silver there? It looks like it has a new flywheel. Anyways, the clutch disc looks decent from what we can see, but we're missing flywheel bolts, so yeah, I don't know what to say about the swap. Seems like a lot of inexperience is what happened here. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the head and start pulling the valve cover apart.
Yeah.
All right, with that being said, we got those two studs that came out of the head, so whatever, but this should be ready to come off. There we go. So right there, that's where those thread into the head here. And again, they should have been tighter. They shouldn't have came out with that, so we're gonna have to figure out how to get that off later, but we'll deal with that later. All right, so first impressions, I don't see any scoring on the cams, which is a good sign, but the more important part is the journals that they ride inside the caps. When you either blow up an engine or you get a rod knock, you have the potential to send metal through the tiny little journals that are inside here. And once that metal contacts the cam that's in the journal, then you can get scarring. Then you have a problem. So the next thing we're gonna do is take off the rest of the timing covers, pull the timing belt off, pull these rails off, get the cams taken out, and we're gonna see how much damage there is. All right, guys, so we got the head bolts out. It's time to remove the head. I disconnected the coolant line from the block to the ICV, disconnected the heater hose, or the bypass hose there to the intake manifold from the block. I'm gonna clean up a spot on the bench, and we'll get this thing pulled off and we'll take a look. There we go. Holy shit. Oh, wow. All right, guys, so holy shit. I have never seen this happen on a stock engine, or honestly anyone I've ever blown up, myself or a customer car. These two pistons are together. So this piston, well, it's in chunks. So something tells me that that cylinder part on the head is gonna be very damaged. I can. Oh, yeah. Well, anyways, guys, we'll go take a look at the head. The fact that there isn't a hole in this block very surprises me. I'm honestly very surprised. The piston's completely destroyed. It's cracked in half. Whole entire bottom chunk is just gone. So, yeah. He said it started knocking and he drove it about 5 miles home or so, and then they towed it. Yeah, I'll be impressed if that head's not completely paperweight now. So. I haven't looked yet. We'll move on over to the bench. We'll take a look. All right, guys, so I tilted the head up, and I'm honestly extremely surprised by the result of what happened. So I'll just let you guys take a look for yourself and see if you're astounded as well. So, good cylinder, good cylinder, good cylinder. This is the one that had the cracked piston that was completely destroyed, and the rod actually came loose from the crank. as you guys can see, the head itself isn't actually damaged, but I guarantee you every single one of those valves is completely destroyed. Not only are they probably bent, if I had to guess, I would assume that the valve stem guides themselves got damaged as well. So that's actually a machine shop job to fix. That's something I can't do. So anyways, the head itself actually isn't really that damaged. There is some scoring, which is a little bit of a concern. But I'll let the customer know that either we can send the head off to try to get it rebuilt, or either he can find another head, and I don't know what we'll do with this one. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to flip the head back down and we'll take a look inside and see if we can see any damage. All right, guys, so we flipped the head over. We took a look at it. I don't see any immediate damage at all. I don't see any, nothing cracked or broke. But again, we'll pull the valves out later on, and I'm sure they're going to be really damaged, and the valve stem seal guides, or the valve guides themselves are probably damaged as well. So I don't know, we'll see. Also, I took another look at the journals. The journals themselves look pretty decent, so that's a good thing. But there is 2 journals that do have a bit of, you could see metal contact. So I don't know if you guys can see that abrasion right there or not, but with one there and one there. So probably gonna end the video here tonight. I do work full time, so this is something I do on the side. I'm gonna go ahead and let the customer know that exactly what happened. He also is gonna watch this video too, so you'll be able to see firsthand. So couple options. We can either send the head off to a machine shop, have them disassemble it and really take a look and see if it is salvageable. Otherwise, you know, you could probably spend $200-300 and buy another cylinder head which should be good. So anyways, we'll let that be up to the customer, and we'll let them know. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned something. And once again, that's a pretty rough blow up there with that piston. So enjoy your night. Thanks.